harassing or taking down the expo, and he maybe Darius may be thinking that he's going to try and siege him with double war with ballistas and stuff, which is all right. The thing I don't like about sieging with double war is that it's a pretty big commitment, and if it ends up failing, like it really easily could, you're still stuck at tier 1 with double war and stuff. So I prefer just focusing on units. But now he's got him contained, and he doesn't have to rely completely, like he doesn't have to pump hunts non-stop right now just to contain him, because he's got that AP up out there, and it really keeps him at bay, keeps him in his base, keeps him from creeping, and keeps him from harassing his expo too much right now. I guess Axslav must have sent a couple of hunts or archers to take care of those 3 ghouls that were harassing his expo while it was building. Now he's got an expo up. He's still just containing him with that AP. Another nice thing about AP against a double crypt like this is that if he does go Gargs, he's got that AP to help contain him and not just rely on the archers, which can be picked off by coil and focus fire and stuff. I asked Axslav about what he thinks Darius should have done in that situation. He thinks one thing he maybe should have considered was just to not attack. Let the APs get up and just wait for Ghoul Frenzy, because Ghoul Frenzy can take on hunts pretty well. But Panda kind of does a lot to negate ghouls. Now he's got Frenzy right now, Darius does, so he's going to be doing a little bit better. But especially with a heal scroll or something, you can actually take on double war pretty nicely with enough ghouls, especially if you have a statue as well. And so, yep, Axslav's just kind of got him in a bad position right now. Axslav's getting his expo up. He's containing him. He's making him lose ghouls. Darius not able to level so fast, and his Panda is almost level 5. Level 5, level 6 Panda is obviously a murderer. Darius making a slaughterhouse now. Take out hunts and siege the APs. One thing about Axslav that I think not enough people do, people just seem to be so afraid of every damn tower. It's amazing to me. Sometimes orcs, I'll have like 1 foot and like a level 1 AM, and I'll have like 5 grunts and a level 2 Farseer. And they'll just like not come near me because of my arcane towers. Like, people are way too afraid of that shit. If you can come in and rock my footmen or my peasants or something, do it. Like, Axslav actually had the TP there, so it wasn't too much an disadvantage. But I noticed, especially when I play Axslav, he has a pretty strong perception of what to be afraid of and what not to be afraid of. And I've learned that I really can't scare him off with arcane towers or things like that. He'll just come straight into my town and mess shit up. So that's a good thing, Don't be so afraid of undead frost towers. Don't be so afraid of arcane towers. Don't be so afraid of things like burrows. Be willing. Even if you end up losing a couple huntresses or something, so what if you end up killing all the Axslavs or killing a bunch of ghouls, and especially when you've got an expo like in this situation, you come out on top. As you can see, Axslav is teching now. He's still just pumping hunts. Hunts are pretty much good at all points of the game against undead. They can handle A-bombs pretty good. It's a little bit harder when they have meat riggins and stuff. And like Axslav was pointing out, he was saying one of the biggest mistakes that undead do against double war is go Gargs. He says that Gargs themselves, especially against archers, it would be a little bit different against dryads, but especially against archers, Gargs themselves don't do a lot of damage. Like 5 archers can take on quite a few Gargs. The thing that rapes archers obviously is heroes. The nice thing about having that big hunt meat shield is that you can keep their heroes away from your back line, and therefore allow your archers to take on the guards safely. So he thinks guards are a pretty bad choice against a strategy like this, and most of the time it's people's first instinct, and especially against something like Panda, it's not that good of a choice. Axslav tried to build a Tree of Life there. On a map like Echo Isles, especially with a strategy like this, if you have Axslav's essentially had him contained and really been in an advantageous position pretty much the entire game. in a situation like that, if you can grab both expansions on Nickel Owls, I mean, then, you know, that's huge. I mean, having 3 mines to none and essentially taking away his only spot where he could expo, I mean, that's really important. Try to take down that slaughterhouse. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. Oh, so close. One last try. Oh, that's so sad, so close. And one thing that Axslav pointed out was how important it was for him to keep Darius from expoing right now, because if, for example, Darius was able to get this expansion up and defend it the entire game, he could win on the basis that, you know, his expansion has, you know, like around 3k gold more than Axslav's expansion. So by the time both of Axslav's mines ran out, Darius would still have a mine going, would still have 3k gold to go, which is enough for a lot of A-bombs. He could probably win the game, so it was pretty important to stop him from expoing at that point, and that's why he was pretty serious about it. But he also knows he can win the game now. As you can see, he's sitting down double wins, going archers. Darius is pretty much committed to an entirely ground army of A-bombs and slaughterhouses, which is great against Double War. But knowing this, Axslav has decided the Hippo Riders are a good choice. I was asking Axslav about what he techs to and why. And when he attacked the drives, when he attacked the chins, and things like that. He says the thing he doesn't like about going Hippo Riders is that you know, if Darius just made 2 fiends right now with web, he could pretty much take any amount of Hippo Riders, which is really quite true. And you know, they just don't handle fiends very well, and yeah, I mean, that's just it. Just one fiend can take a lot of Hippo Riders. This is another thing, if you're watching the battle right now, Axslav does a very good job of splitting his army. Axslav does probably the best job of microing melee, despite they won't give himself credit. Well, just in general, splitting his army. Like, you know, whenever I play human against them, I've actually played quite a few games against or with Axslav recently, and you know, like whenever I play as Orc or whenever I play as Mass Hunt now, damn you. He's so good about splitting his army, especially against ranged, like flanking the backside of my rifles. It's just amazing what a difference splitting an army can make. And you know, a lot of Niles, if they do like the Panda thing against me, they aren't that hard. Panda Mass Hunts against me, they aren't that hard to deal with, because they just kind of fight me head on. So I can just, once I get enough rifles and casters and stuff like that, they aren't really hard. But with Axslav, he's constantly splitting his army up, so it's really hard for me to fight, especially in an open map, to get in a good position against them. He's just very good about picking his battles and his position. Hippo Riders are a good choice in this map because Darius is spending most of his money on trying to get that expansion up. He's committed almost entirely to a ground army, so Hippo Riders will pretty much just run over him right now. I asked Axslav if he would have kept up with Hippo Riders had Darius scouted, and he said no, not really. He'd probably go for something like Talons, because Hunts and Talons do a pretty good job against A-bombs and fiends and stuff like that, so it's not that bad. He says what he techs to most of the time. He says anytime he goes to tier 3, he likes to get at least some drives, because otherwise it's pretty hard to survive. But especially against Gargs and stuff like that, drives can be pretty good against